Lawrence O'Donnell did a piece last night. It was longer than normal, so what I did is I cut it with quite a few pieces out of it. But the idea is that he brought on a CEO who made a prescient statement, and that was tariffs are not medicine. What we have, the way it's implemented, is poison. He didn't. I'm paraphrasing a bit what he said, but you could see the breakdown of what's going to happen to mostly small businesses who bring a lot of material in from countries overseas, from countries around the world. Look, let's be clear. There are reasons to have tariffs, but when one has tariffs, it has to be done in a coordinated manner, and it has to be done with a purpose, not to stop trading and efficiencies, but to guard against what happened, let's say during the pandemic, and that can be done. But what Donald Trump is doing shows, first of all, why every business that he's gone into pretty much went bankrupt, because he has no ability to plan, no ability to think, no ability to see through the different degrees of freedom that any business person has to have. And because of that, and because of the timidity of not just the Republican Party, but of countries all around the world, he is likely to bring down the world's economy if different countries don't develop a spine, as China is doing right now. China so far is not going to budge. But I tell you what, if other countries decide to play hardball, and as China is doing, meaning restructuring where it buys its stuff from, opening new markets for other countries by using also the tariff methodologies to get some sort of preferential treatment for these countries. A whole lot that can be done. After all, we are only about 4% of the population, and we may be about 20% of consumption. But you know what? All of that can be mitigated. But I want you to listen to Lawrence's piece, and then we'll take it on the other side.
In Donald Trump's deranged riffing today about $2 is that all of the chaos landing on us from the Trump tariffs was never anticipated by Donald Trump because he does not understand how tariffs work. I thought Donald Trump was lying every day of the presidential campaign when he said China would pay his tariffs. I thought Donald Trump was at least smart enough to know that tariffs imposed by the United States are paid only in the United States when those goods from foreign countries arrive in the United States. The tariff is paid right on the dock by the companies like Best Buy or General Motors that import those products. The Wall Street Journal wisely in its editorials calls tariffs border taxes because that's exactly what they are. They are sales taxes imposed on Americans at the border, at the port of entry into this country where those goods arrive. The biggest port of entry for products from China is the port of Los Angeles. Shipping is dropping dramatically in the port of Los Angeles, and so longshoremen and truck drivers, who are the very first American workers to touch those goods as they arrive in the United States, then move through the United States, are facing the possibility of massive job losses thanks to Donald Trump's tariffs. And they might only be able to afford $2 under the Christmas tree this year, thanks to Donald Trump. There's no way to survive this. That's what Rick Woldenberg said today on MSNBC in an interview with Chris Jensen, where he explained what Donald Trump's tariffs are doing to his company and the 500 people who now have jobs in that company, but whose jobs are now threatened by Donald Trump.
Our company makes educational products. We sell into schools and we sell into homes. And there's a lot of people who depend on what we do. So obviously frustrating that he basically says what happens to us and the 500 people that work in our company is no concern of his. I can tell you that the stock market is going down, in my opinion, because only one thing has changed, and that's these tariffs. The economy was booming when he came in, and he hit us with tariffs. We are responding to the incentives that he's given us. His first tariff at 10% was a big problem for us, and we immediately began canceling events and cutting our spending. It's now gone up into the stratosphere. It's 2.5 times what he said in the campaign would be the highest tariff he would put out. There's no way to survive this. We're in the most competitive market in the world. And I'd like to say one other thing. He said, we had to take our medicine. We're not taking medicine here. We're taking poison. This is going to kill these businesses. I'm one of 300,000 businesses in many industries that are similarly situated and similarly affected. We're not a rounding error. You can talk to any of our employees and ask them.
We're not taking medicine here. We're taking poison. This is going to kill businesses. Voters know now that that is true. This is poison. It's going to kill businesses, kill jobs. And so tonight, Donald Trump has lost the support of the voters who made him president, not the hardcore 25 or 30% who think Donald Trump is some sort of religious figure who they are devoted to. There's probably nothing that Donald Trump could ever do to lose them, no matter what's under their Christmas tree. But weeks ago, Donald Trump lost that 3 or 4% of voters who made him president in the final days of voting and making their decision to vote. And now he is the most unpopular president on the 100th day of his presidency since the invention of polling, and possibly the most concentrated negative opinions and feelings about Donald Trump are held by business leaders, including Republican business leaders. A new poll shows that 84% of business leaders say they are very or somewhat concerned about the impact of the current political and legal climate on their businesses. In that poll, 81% of Republican business leaders said they are very or somewhat concerned about the impact of the current political and legal climate on their businesses. When Donald Trump decided to get into the business of selling his strangely enormous neckties in bright, garish colors, he had those neckties made in China. And the Trump golf carts, where Donald Trump appears to spend as much time as he does sitting in the Oval Office, those golf carts are some of the most international products in the world. CNBC reports while both Club Car and Easy Go assemble their golf carts in the United States, they source their components from China, Taiwan, India, Malaysia, Turkey, and Europe, among other countries. No matter how long Donald Trump clings to his tariff madness that is separating him from voters and making congressional Republicans vulnerable in the next election, and no matter how long Donald Trump plays golf, he will never in his lifetime ride in a golf cart made with all American parts. That will not happen in Donald Trump's lifetime. The Wall Street Journal editorial board was very disappointed that Jeff Bezos assured Donald Trump in a panicked phone call made by Donald Trump that Amazon will never reveal to customers how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the prices they will pay and already are paying on Amazon. The Wall Street Journal editorial board said, quote, "The public could have used Amazon's price transparency. Tariffs are taxes, and it's helpful to know how policy choices affect final prices. Some shoppers might say the additional cost is worth it to support Mr. Trump's policy, but there's no denying that they're paying, and everyone is better off knowing how much. Like taxes, tariffs often add a precise dollar figure to a sticker price. Voters who pay little attention to the macroeconomy will notice a direct markup on items they buy."
Now, Lawrence nails it. The CEO nails it. And the only solution we have, and the thing about it is this: the damage to the economy is already there. All those containers that are 2 months behind, restructuring to get all those orders back into process, all those cancel orders that have to be placed back into the supply chain line, that cannot come on. That will not come on very soon, because there's going to have to be a lot of retooling. There's going to have to be a lot of ships placed in the right places to bring these containers. What Donald Trump did was a mess on the world's economy. And the fragility, or I should say the timidity with which not only the world, but the Republican Party has responded to the chaos that he's creating, is a factor in why it will be that much more difficult to recover from this disaster.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.